in this May edition of Pure Michigan Trains. Spring is in full swing as gray turns to green around West Michigan. From a race on the main line in downtown Grand Rapids to an evening of Marquette Rail action to one of CSX's coal trains on the Saugatuck grade, this edition is full of action, variety, and scenery. This is Pure Michigan Trains, presented by the Thornapple River Rail Series. As with our April edition, we begin this program at Pleasant Street on the CSX Grand Rapids Terminal subdivision. Rounding the curve ahead is Amtrak train number 370, who will come up to us to get their signal into the Grand Rapids station. Meanwhile, behind us sits CSX GR&I with potash empties from Weberville. Since Amtrak has crossed over from GR&I's track in the interlocking, both trains received their signal at the same time, and the closest thing to a race Western Michigan has seen in years ensues. To add to the train fest tonight, Q334 was waiting for Amtrak to depart Wyoming Yard. With P370 now in the clear at the station, they receive their light, and shortly after GR&I disappears, it's train time all over again. The next morning in Granville, Amtrak train 371 heads west at 6:30 on the first day of their new earlier schedule. "12 miles east of Grand Rapids, at the hamlet of McCords, we catch L334 upgrade from the Thornapple River. The new prefix is in place as part of CSX's new 28-hour scheduling idea, with hopes to reduce costs by running fewer trains without hurting service." East End Elmdale was once home to the dispatching office for the then-new CTC signaling between Grand Rapids and Lake Odessa. Today, the railroad has long since moved on, including a new signal system, but continues to use the station as a maintenance-of-way base, with the storage structure receiving new paint just weeks after our visit. Moving back west to the hill, we are at Whitneyville to find another monster Q335. This one was 7 locomotives and 206 cars. Just inside the city limits at Alger, we view them rolling towards Seymour, where only a quarter of this train is visible at any given time. That is when they stopped at Pleasant Street. For some reason, they were unable to get a signal, and so here they sit, with many of the major roads on the southeast side of Grand Rapids blocked at the height of rush hour. With long backups ensuing on the southeast side, the police were called to keep people from climbing over or through the train, while all the crew could do was sit and wait. Finally, after a half an hour, they received their slow approach indication and begin the crawl into the yard. Later that evening, we are chasing a much shorter and much less disruptive Marquette Rail Z151. They're on the move south of Sparta at Alpine Avenue with 3 locomotives and over 60 cars. At the Thornapple River, D707 heads east with an SD40-3 leading an SD40-2. With another monster Q335 working their way through Grand Ledge, the RN dispatcher has coded D707 into the hole at Lake Odessa. In Lako, we are 30 miles from Grand Rapids and also the east end of centralized traffic control. From here to Enzel Yard in Lansing, the railroad features automatic block signals with authority granted by Form EC1. Looking east through the sag as Q335 approaches, we see the ancient searchlight signals at Haddix, where we will catch D707 shortly. Q335 crawls back up the hill with 195 cars stretched out behind them as far as the eye can see. Given the few minutes it takes for the dispatcher to transfer EC1 authority, we move over to the other end of the sag at Haddix for D707. These searchlights were actually at one point semaphores, converted to searchlights sometime later. It is unknown when or even if this piece of railroad will receive signal upgrades, or even if it will be upgraded to CTC territory. For now, the searchlights and code lines stand tall as they have for nearly a century, guiding yet another train eastward down the Plymouth sub. Moving 40 miles west of Grand Rapids, we catch a CSX Q335 behind CN Power at the super elevated curve in Fennville. 335 met N903 at Wells, and the coal train was soon underway. We skip up to 55th Street midway up the Saugatuck Hill as they come charging upgrade with their running start from Fennville. The grade and curvature has soon taken its toll, with the 7,000-foot train down to walking speed. However, the EMD products win the war against gravity, and the head end is at the summit as the helpers roar by in Notch 8. Thanks for watching this edition of Pure Michigan Trains. If you enjoyed this program, don't forget to like and subscribe to the Thornapple River Rail Series on Facebook and here at YouTube.